Okay, so here we're getting the mean, right, of this data here. Okay, so it's exactly like, what we did before. Okay, so basically what do? We take each data value, multiply it by its frequency, right? So we have 40 times 2, we have 12 times 31, 8 times 15, 91 times 52. As you can see, we're adding those up. And then we divide by the number of data values. And that is the sum of the frequencies. And then again, this whole thing is the mean. This is the top when you do these products. Bottom turns out to be 100, and you get 55,304 over 100. That's 53.04. So that is the mean for this data set. Okay, any questions? All right, well, in that case, let's look at this. So this is another way of saying what we mean by center. We had the mean. Now we have what's called the median. The median is actually the value that's in the middle of the data. In the middle, I guess, more in the traditional sense, like in between, so to say. Now, sometimes, as you'll see here in these examples, the median will be in a data value, but not always. Sometimes, so let me say it again. Sometimes it will be a data value, and sometimes it won't be. The way you actually get the median depends on how many data values you have. The first thing you always do to find the median, as I have here, you have to sort the data from smallest to largest. Okay, you have to do that. And now you have to see how many data values there are. One, if there's an odd number, then the median is just the middle value in the traditional sense. In other words, what you do, if n is how many data values there are, you divide by 2 and you round this number up. Whatever you get, whatever position, whatever number is in that position, that's the median. When we do examples, I think it'll make more sense, but that's what you do if there's an odd number. So again, if n is how many data values there are, you take n, you divide by 2, you round it up, and that number you get, the number in that position that's the data value. If there's an even number of data values, then you have to find a number in n over 2 and n over 2 plus 1 positions, those two, and then you take their mean. So again, if n is even, you divide by 2, and you also add 1 to that number. The number in these two positions, you'll have a number in this position, you'll have a number in this position. The mean of those two will be the median. And that number may not be in the data set. That's what the median will be. The whole idea with the median is this. You want the same number of data values above and below it. That's what will happen. Let's do an example, though. So let's suppose we had these scores. We have these quiz scores, so to say. And we want to find the median. Well, let's sort these first, like so. Okay. Notice there are 10 data values. We would count them. Okay, that's great, because now we know n is even, n is 10. So we divide by 2 to get 5. Add 1 to that, we get 6. So you want to look at the two numbers the one in the fifth position and the one in the sixth position, or the fifth number and the sixth number from the bottom. Doing so, right, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 16. And the sixth number is 17. The median is the average of these two, which is actually between these two, which is 16.5. That's the median quiz score. And notice, though, it's not an actual data value. That's okay. That's going to happen. Okay, so that's one example with the median. You could also get the median if you only have a frequency table. Just like we got the mean, we got the median. Again, just like with the mean, we don't have to write out the data values. Thank goodness. I mean, this is actually the same example. I think this is the same frequency table from earlier. We don't have to list all these data values. Thank goodness. Okay, well, how many data values are there? Remember, frequency is the number of values. So the total number of data values, right? 4 plus 1 plus 5 plus 6, that's 16. Which, of course, is even. So there's 16 data values. Okay, so we want to know what is the number in the 8th position, n over 2, and the 9th position, 8 over 2 plus 1. We want to know the numbers in those two positions, or those two data values. We can't just dive right into the frequency table, right? We have to sort this. That's no problem. You could sort it like this. Right? We know 5 is the smallest, so with its frequency, that's going to be the smallest. 7 is the next biggest, so the 7s would come next. And 12 is the next biggest, so 12 would be next, and then 14. So in other words, we're basically sorting the data values here, keeping the number with its corresponding frequency in the same row. So a number and its frequency must be in the same row. That's what we're doing. And now, instead of listing them, this is how we proceed. This might be a little weird, but it's not terrible. Okay, so notice that the first 6 data values, if you were to list this, right? The first 6 have to be 5. Again, here we're sorting it, and we're saying that after we sort it, the first 6 data values are all equal to 5. Okay, so we're going to say the first value is 5, the second data value is 5, up to 6. Now the next 5 data values, they each equal 7. The next ones, the next 5 after the 6. So data values from 7 through 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I just added here to get the last position. 7 is in, 6 and 5. But these values are 7. So the first 6 are 5. 7 through 11 are 7. They're each equal to 7. I mean, we actually could stop here for the mean because we're looking for the median, but for practice, I want to keep going. The next 4 data values are 12. So what are the next 4? The 12th one, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. Or you could think of it as going from 12 through 11 plus 4, which is 15. They all equal 12. And then, of course, the last data value is 14. We can see, though, that the 8th and 9th data value, they each equal 7. So the median is this. I know if they're the same, you don't have to do this average, but I'm just reminding you, you do take the average of those two numbers always. I mean, if they were different here, then you would have to. But if they're the same, then you don't have to. No, if they're the same, they're both 7. And the average of 7 with itself is just 7. I hope that made sense. That might have been a little weird, I know. We'll do more examples. Back, we'll do another one now. There we go. Let's do another one. First, let me stop the recording.